Beth Wood put out a statement within the last few hours. WRAL's Matt Tallhelm has been following this story since last week. Matt, what is Wood saying? What are we hearing in this statement?
Well, Dan, I want to first get to another statement. We just got here in the last few minutes from North Carolina Republican Party. They are saying that while this accident may have been a mistake, the decision to sneak away from the scene was intentional and wholly unbecoming of an elected official. They are calling on Wood to resign. Now, we have been asking Wood and her attorney for a statement for several days. It did come this morning from a public relations firm. Now, in it, Beth Wood said that she attended a holiday gathering for about 2 hours that night before the crash. Take a look at her statement here. She explains, "When I left, I made a sharp right turn and inadvertently hit a parked car. I was shaken by the incident, and when I was unable to move my vehicle, I left the scene. That was a serious mistake, and I regret my decision." Wood goes on to say, "I apologize to the owner of the car I hit, my staff, and all I serve for leaving the scene of an accident. I've learned from the mistake and am fully accepting personal responsibility for my actions." Now, WRAL obtained photos that show the scene of that crash just after 9 o'clock the night of Thursday, December 8th. Police report Wood overrode a car that was parked in a spot on South Salisbury near West Hargett Street. You can see two wheels of that state-owned car completely off the ground there. It's a car issued to Wood. Raleigh police have charged her with misdemeanor hit and run and also cited her with unsafe movement violations 4 days after the crash. Now, I did talk with the owner of the car that was crashed into. I gave him this statement from Wood, and he said to me simply he hopes the justice system is fair and impartial and that Wood does not use her position as a way to get out of this. Now, once again, though, just within the last few minutes, the North Carolina GOP tweeting that North Carolina deserves better from the state auditor and Beth Wood should resign. So this reaction is really one of the first we've heard from anyone politically about this statement. Beth Wood, of course, is a Democrat, has served here in the auditor's position since 2009. We'll work to learn more from that statement here from the GOP today.
Yeah, one thing I have to mention still missing from Wood's statement. Why'd you leave the crash site? Why? So, Matt, I know you'll keep asking those questions. Thanks for the report.
Tonight and only on WRAL, these photos of the state-owned vehicle issued to North Carolina Auditor Beth Wood on top of another vehicle. Wood is now charged with hit and run. Thank you for joining us. I'm Gerald Owens.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey. Wood still has not said anything about what happened. We're hearing exclusively from the person who found out their car was the one that was hit. WRAL's Matt Tallhelm joins us live now with the interview you'll only see here on WRAL, Matt.
Yeah, Michelle, that crash happened in this parking spot right here. It is the last spot here on South Salisbury Street as you head on down to the corner here, trying to turn right onto West Hargett Street. Now, we were able to obtain an insurance report that Wood filed with the state. This is a state-owned vehicle. In it, she describes her account of the accident, but doesn't exactly describe what those photos show.
I get a phone call from my daughter that literally, she says, there's a car on top of the car.
That's the call Chris Valverde took from his daughter when she discovered this. Her dad's white Toyota Camry smashed beneath the undercarriage of this black Toyota Camry.
One of the last things she told me was like, hey, the car that's on top of my car is a state government vehicle. And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
A few days later, Valverde received this initial crash report from Raleigh police. It's dated December 9th, hours after the crash the night before. In the report, the officer describes Vehicle 1 was left with the engine running, yet not occupants nor a driver of Vehicle 1 were on scene or located at this time. And the driver of the vehicle appeared to have fled the scene at this time.
I was just kind of like in awe of, one, like how can something happen like that? And then two, why would somebody just flee the scene like that?
Valverde says he didn't discover who the driver of that other car was until he called the state's insurance provider earlier this month.
She's like, okay, I can give you who the driver was, and it was Beth Wood, the North Carolina state auditor.
WRAL obtained the insurance claim report filed by Wood 4 days after the crash, the same day Raleigh police charged her with hit and run. Under accident description, Wood wrote, "I made a sharp, sudden turn and struck a parked vehicle."
Like the car was on the side wheelie, I guess. how she drove up on the car and it was on the side.
Valverde says he just wants some accountability.
We trust our government officials to be responsible in everything they do, and I think that was very irresponsible of her to flee the scene.
We've reached out to Wood and her attorney several times over the last few days, and today we have not heard back at all. Now, Valverde tells us his daughter actually was driving his car to work. She works here in downtown Raleigh. He says the insurance process is taking a long time right now. It could be months before that car is repaired, if it can be repaired. He says his daughter's having to find other ways to get to work, and that's an added expense right now.
Also, a lot of questions still unanswered here. Matt Talhelm live for us in downtown Raleigh. Thanks, Matt.